Hi everybody. Today's video is one that has been highly requested, especially since I did my collections videos back in January where you got to see all of the washi tape and all of the stickers and all the things I have that I'm going to be trying to work through during my no-buy year. A lot of you wanted to know, how do I take all of that stuff and decide or plan out or pick what I'm going to use in a weekly spread? Because if there is one thing I love, it is having like matchy-matchy coordinating spreads. I tend to be somebody, I'll just show you, this is my new planner currently, right? Like some of these are kits, but like this one's not. This one was one that was picked from stickers that, or stuff that I already had. And so how do I do that? How do I decide what colors, what things, how do I go from nothing and just a collection of stuff to selecting some things? Now, before I do this, I have a few caveats. The first caveat is that this is likely easier than you expected. I tend to keep it very simple in how I decide on things. It goes a lot with my gut, but when I go with my gut, I tend to focus on something, and we'll talk about that in a minute. This does not require a huge background in color theory or anything else, because chances are, especially if you're using something like washi tape as your focus, the people who made the washi tape already did that work for you. Secondly, I have a massive supply of stuff. If you didn't see those collection videos, I'll leave the playlist down below for my no-buy, which has those videos in it. I've got so much shit, you guys. And so please do not feel bad if you don't have this level of stuff. Like I said, I love to color coordinate things, so there's a reason I have a bunch of stickers in different colors. However, you can still make this work with a more limited supply. And thirdly, I am mostly going to be focusing on stickers and washi tape here because I don't tend to use colored pens a lot in my planner, although that may change in the next year since I have so many to use up. I don't tend to paint my planner or do anything like that on the regular, but you can still apply some of these ideas to other supplies if that's what you have or that's what you are interested in using. And then finally, please don't take this as me suggesting you go buy a bunch of shit. Don't do that. Unless you want to and you have the money and it's okay for you. But I'm on a no-buy this year. I'm trying to use my stuff up. I just recognize I have about a store's worth of shit in this house. So moving forward, I have about 4 steps that I go through here. Kind of 3, but maybe we'll say 4 for fun. 4 steps I kind of go through here. And like I said in the beginning, these are simpler than you think they are. The key here, the first step, the most important step, the thing that will help you figure out what the shit you are doing is to pick your focal point, your inspiration point, the thing that is inspiring you to do all the things. What did they say in Father of the Bride? I just watched it when I was on dialysis for the first time in a while, that not the old one, not the new one, the medium one, right? The Steve Martin one. Martin Short's character was like, yeah, pick the cake first, because if you pick the cake, you'll know what kind of wedding you have, right? Well, we're picking the cake here, but the cake is the item that is going to help you decide kind of how to proceed, okay? And that could be anything. It might be a highlighter color, like maybe you just bought or you just scrounged up the neutral pack of highlighters from Mildliner, and you see this cream one and you fucking love it. And so you want to kind of go with this one. That was actually how I got inspired to do the one I'm currently in, which is a very neutral spread. It's just pen and highlighter. And I picked it because I really love this cream highlighter. So I decided that that was going to be my focal point. If you pick a focal point like this with one color, then that is a little harder to select additional colors with, but we'll talk about that. So it could be like this. It could be a sticker kit. It could be what's left of a sticker kit. Or in my case, what I tend to do most often is I will see a washi tape that inspires me. So for example planner. This one right here, this black and white and gray spread. I knew I wanted to do a black and white spread, but what I really wanted was to use this black and white graph washi and this stripy washi that are both from Amanda Rachley. They came in the same set, so that kind of made things a little simpler. But these 2 washis, I was like, I want to do black and white, and I want to use these 2 washi tapes. And that was where I started this week. The week that I'm going to be doing a live plan with me, which should already be up by the time you see this video. That particular week, it was going to be the week of Valentine's Day. And I wanted to do something that was kind of softer and maybe a little bit more romantic feeling, but I didn't want to do pinks. I wanted to do something besides pink, so I went and looked at my washi tape and I found this one that I haven't even used yet. It is one, I don't remember where I got it. I got it at, I don't remember where the hell I got it, but it is, I'll zoom you in here so you can see it. It is a hydrangea washi tape with like some blues and some greens, and I love hydrangea. They're one of my favorite flowers. This almost exactly color of hydrangea I used in my wedding bouquet at my first wedding. So maybe not the best Valentine's Day choice, but I love these flowers. They're so pretty. So this is my focal point. That's your first task, is to pick the thing that's going to inspire you to do the rest. Now, you could just go pick things willy-nilly, right? You could do that. If you're really trying to learn how to pull colors together or how to just make something feel cohesive, it is so much easier if you start with one kind of inspiration piece and then build out from there. So for this video, we're going to be mainly focusing on this because this is what I'm going to be using in my plan with me. But I will discuss things like picking a single color as well. So that's the first step. Pick your focal. Maybe focal is not the right word. Let's say pick your inspo. Okay. Your second step is then to pick your colors. Now this is dependent on a few things. First and foremost, it's dependent on what you have. So if you love the color magenta, but you don't have any stickers, any washi tape, any pens in the color magenta, you're not going to be able to pick a color theme from that. So I would suggest picking a different color or going and buying some things if that's within your scope of stuff you're willing to do right now. Secondly, my suggestion is going to be that with a few exceptions, like a rainbow week, to keep it limited, and we'll talk about that in a second. Keep it limited and don't go overboard unless that maximalist kind of approach is something you're super into. So in this example of my black and white planner week, I knew I wanted these two washi tapes, right? So looking at them, I knew that what I was going to want to use was black and a couple of grays. And that's it. I wanted black to be the color that popped because this washi tape pops. And then I wanted a couple of grays. There's one gray on here and maybe a darker gray. Just wanted to have a couple of grays to work with. And that's what you're going to pick. You're going to pick your focal color, the color you want to have pop off the most, and the supporting colors. Like imagine like the star of a show and the supporting cast. So for this one, it was the black and the grays. And then for this one here, I definitely want that like darker periwinkle blue to be kind of the color that my favorite main color here, the main squeeze of the thing. And then maybe a green as a like a supporting color, picking it from this washi tape here. And then maybe another like lighter blue. That could work too. But the main colors are blue and green, and I want the blue to be kind of the forward color. All right, so if I pick, I'd like to lean towards blue over green stickers, but have both, have a nice mix of both. And when I look at my supplies, I want to go for blues over greens, but I want to do blue and green. So that would be how I would decide from here, by looking at this and seeing the colors on here, picking the color that I am drawn to the most. Usually if you're picking something that's floral, I would go with the color of the blossom over the color of the green as your focal color. That doesn't have to be the case. You can do whatever you want. But that's my usual, because greens to me, the leaves tend to be the supporting character rather than the star of the show, unless it is all green. Now, if you are gonna go with a single color, you have a couple choices you can make. The first choice is to go with a monochromatic spread. Again, this could also be referred to as a monochromatic spread if I was just looking for different shades of gray. In a spread like this, the focal color is the blue. I picked blue washi tapes to support it. The purple is like the complementary color. And then when I went with this spread and I used this cream colored marker, I decided I was gonna go very simple, and all I wanted was a supporting slightly darker color for the dot pen. And that was it. Because you can pick, as many colors as you want. Now, if you have a marker like this and you're not really sure what to go with, then there's a couple of websites I'm going to link down below. They're color choosing websites, color palette websites. You can go in there and find the color that's the closest to the one thing you've got. And what it'll do is it'll suggest different color palettes, and it'll give you some different ideas for colors that would go really well with this. If you struggle with color theory, it's a tool that can make things real handy for you. I'll leave a couple of those resources linked down below. Then of course there's things like rainbow, where you want to do a rainbow situation, and that way you just pick the colors that fit the part of the rainbow that you want to go with. I also like to have a neutral color. Now often in my planner that neutral color is black, because it is the color I use for my pen. And that to me is the way I always ground how I do my planner lineups is because no matter what I do, like in this one, this is just using the creamy colors for the zig pens or for the dot marker and the highlighter, but black is my main color. You have another one like this where the colors are a lot more vibrant. It was a sticker kit, but my neutral color in this is still the black pen. That doesn't mean you have to do it that way. You can totally use, like say, black washi tape or gray washi tape or a different neutral washi tape and then use a color pen to be the focal color. That's another way you can do this. But you want to make sure that there is something that can draw your eye in a way that is not color to make it a little easier to read. So I've picked my colors for this washi tape. What I want is the blue and the green to be like my main colors. My neutral color is going to be my black pen. And I want the blue to be kind of the more forward color and the green to be the more supporting color. So now that I've done that, the third step is to pick out your supplies. Now a key here that can be really helpful in streamlining this process, and it'll get to the point when you do it where it really doesn't take that long. The longest time it takes for me is deciding what I want it to, like the first kind of step, picking the washi tape. That's usually what takes the longest for me. And then once that comes, it gets pretty like routine after that. One way to really streamline this is to know what it is you need to use every week and your particular planning style, whether it's what you do every week or whether you're trying something new. Think through ahead as to what you might want to collect. What I usually wind up doing is I start with washi tape. Usually. But I know that what I use in my planner, if I'm going for a non-pen only plan with me, where like I was showing you with this guy, if I'm going for one of my more standard spreads, what I need is a few rolls of washi tape. I need a couple of fat ones like this, like standard width ones like this, or one of these and a fatter one. I need at least one, probably two skinny washi tapes. I need stickers in coordinating colors. I need a dot marker that is in the same color palette, and I need a mild liner or a highlighter that is in the same color palette because I use washi tape to divide my pages and block things off. I use the stickers, obviously, and the pen, obviously, and then I use a dot pen for my habits and for my to-do lists and a marker to highlight all of my action items for my goals for the week. So I know those are the things I use. It may be different for you, but that's the thing you want to think through is what do you use on a weekly basis? Are you going to use those things this week? Pick the colors up front. Make the decision up front. You can actually see me working on this last week right here. These little dots right here. This is from me testing colors out. So we're going to start with my washi tape here. This is what I want for this week, this hydrangea washi tape. So I went to my washi tapes and I looked at them. I picked one more standard size washi tape. I picked this blue Simply Gilded plaid one, both because I thought that the blues looked really pretty together. It fit my criteria of having blue be the kind of forward color. And I thought that the pattern here, the gingham pattern, would look really like kind of picnicky. It's really a spring color selection rather than a winter, but who fucking cares, right? I thought these together would look really pretty on the page. So then I needed a couple of skinny washies. So I grabbed a blue one that I thought would match this set okay. And then I grabbed a green one because I still wanted to get some green in there, but I definitely wanted green to be the supporting color. And if you look at this, you can see looking at it, it's mostly blue with a little bit of green. So that's what I went for. Now, you could pick more than two colors to be your colors. Like I went with blue and green. You can have more colors than that if you want to, but the more colors you have, remember that it's gonna be busy. Not a bad thing. I prefer to have two colors plus a neutral as my like main situation and then some variations. So like blue, green, but there might be a lighter blue and there might be a darker blue. There might be a lighter green, there might be a darker green, but I want to keep it fairly contained to two colors for my personal style. That's something you'll work on the better you get at this. So I have my washi tapes. Like I said, I need a pen. I'm just going to use my black fine liner pen because that's what I always use. Easiest decision ever. When it comes to the other pens I'm going to use, I will look at my highlighter collection and I will think, what do I want to have show up? So sometimes what I will do is use the less forward color to be my dot pen because the dots kind of get scattered, but they're not very big. And so for this one, I might go with that. I might decide to go with the green for the dot pen and a blue for a highlighter. Or what I could do is go with a darker blue for the for the dot pen and a lighter blue for the highlighter. But I think I want to really lean on the blue stickers and not the green stickers. So I think adding green via the dot pen would be a lot of fun. and you're not fucking, if you pick these things and you start doing it and you hate it, then fucking change it. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. So here's my bins of my highlighters and my dot pens. We're thinking of blue for the highlighter. Got this lighter blue, this kind of darker blue. I don't want anything too bright. These are a little faded. I want them to stay that way. Here's another blue for my bucket. And then just for the fun, I'm picking out a cool gray, because sometimes gray actually works better for me than a color, depending on how it works out. And then for dot pens, we're gonna go with green, but I'm gonna pull a blue out just in case. But I wanna go, here's like a soft green. This one is kind of a mossy green. This one is a kind of a brighter green, but they're both soft. Here's a kind of tealy green, not the fluorescent green. That's not the vibe I'm going for. Again, here's kind of a gray, but this is a grayish green. And then here's my brighter green. So those are some colors I want to look at. So then here what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lay these colors down and just take a look at them. I already know I don't want this one. This is a more fluorescent blue. Not what I want for this. It's not the vibe I'm going for. This one is smoke blue. This is a darker blue. Nope, it's too green. Not what I wanted. This one is the dark blue. That's perfect. That's the blue I want, but just in case, I'm gonna put down the gray. That would look really pretty, but I think I wanna go with blue. Although, I might change my mind. So I'm gonna set the cool gray to the side for right now. So that's how I kind of picked my colors. I picked some that I thought might work, and then I put them down and looked at them compared to my inspiration. So now we've got the greens and this blue. So here's this blue. This is a good backup in case the green doesn't work, because that blue is gonna look really well. But I don't want blue, I want green. So that's my backup. So this one, I'm already thinking that this bright green might be too much, but it does really look nice with the washi tape. But it's still a little brighter than I wanted. So I think I'm gonna skip that guy. Here is the pale moss. Now see, that one is more of the vibe I'm going for. Is that like softer green? Here is the pale mint. I kind of like the softer green better, but I think that the mint actually goes better with what I'm doing. Now again, you don't have to you can pick what you want. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you never know. And then there's this grayish green, which is a gorgeous color, but not the color I want. So for me currently, the question is, do I want to use this? Which one of these two do I want? I think I'm gonna go with the slightly brighter green. I'm gonna go with the pale mint, because I think that overall looks better with the colors that I've picked. So we're gonna go with dark blue and pale mint to go with this setup. We've got the colors that you want here. I've picked out the matching pens I'm gonna use with it. And then the last thing that I would do for my personal planning style is to go pick stickers. And what I would do is just flip through them until, again, I find the colors that match with these, with an emphasis on the one. So I might pull out a couple of sheets with blue stickers on them, and then maybe one with green. Trying to keep that in mind. I'm not gonna go through that process here. We kind of just went through that with the pens. But again, you're just kind of combing your supplies for the colors that you're looking for. If you don't have a big sticker collection, but you have colors for washi tape and markers that you really like, my suggestion would be to either not use stickers at all and just use the markers to draw in boxes and so on and so forth, or to use the stickers as an accent. Use what you've got, but don't go overboard on it. I tend to go overboard on stickers because that's my thing, but I also have a huge collection of them. So this is just my way of choosing the colors that I want based on what I use in my planner. So I do this before I get online for a live plan with me. Now, usually I'll pull the stickers I think I'm gonna use, but if you've ever watched one of my live plan with me, then you know that I usually spend half my fucking live stream getting up to go grab more sticker books. 99% of the time I will have these items already selected so I can just start working with them. The final piece of this is to just have some fun, to start doing it, to know you can change your mind. You start putting things down, you don't like it, feel free to change it. But if you've done this the way that, like if you've gone through this and really thought about the one thing, like the thing you picked being the thing you're the most excited about, and then choosing your stuff to go with it from there, that is one way to really have fun. Now, there's other ways you can do it. You can go and say, okay, I want to do all flowery shit. Or like for me, sometimes what I'll do is I'll pick one rainbow washi and then see what other rainbow washis I have that are kind of in the same vibe. But ideally, you start with a single idea and then you branch out from there. And that's how you wind up selecting colors to make a cohesive color palette. If you would like more videos on color theory and how to choose colors without maybe having a washi tape that has all of the colors, or how to pick different kinds of monochromatic spreads, let me know. But this is the basic process that I follow every single week when I'm trying to assemble a spread out of stuff I already have. I love any of your questions in the comments below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, friends, peace.